How's it going, everyone? It's week 3. I really appreciate you guys watching the last 2 videos. It means a lot that you guys enjoy it, and I'm grateful for it. So yeah, thank you guys so much. For today's video, I wanted to talk about not going to film school and how you can find success in film without going to film school, because for me personally, I didn't go to film school or take any formal education. For me personally, I did want to go to film school, and I would have loved to, but it just wouldn't have worked out for me in my personal life because, I have a family, and I'm just not willing to pick my family up and move them to another province or across the country because there's no film schools here on the East Coast, proper film school anyway. There's universities and you could take media classes and stuff, but I think film, you don't really need to go to film school anyway. I feel like you can find success without actually going. But there are benefits to going to film school, and I think if you have the opportunity and the will to want to go, I think you should definitely take it. Yeah, you're not going to film school, you're saving a lot of money, but I do think that it's necessary for you to invest some money into yourself, because you can learn everything you want on YouTube, but I feel like it's just going to take longer, I think, to learn everything from YouTube, which I think it's completely valid to try to do that. Most of the things that I know or have learned is from YouTube, and it's a completely amazing platform to learn stuff. But one of the courses that I've invested in for myself is The Art of Documentary. It's a course by Mark Bone and Michael DeMonte, 2 documentary filmmakers, and it's been amazing. I've been a part of the community for a couple of years now, or however long. Not sure how long it's been going, but it's been great for me because everything I've learned, I've just done and learned also on set or by making the mistakes in real life, which kind of also leads me to my next point of just making stuff that you want to get paid for. So whether it be documentary filmmaking, commercials, narratives, you kind of have to show that you can actually do it. So for me personally, when I first started out in filmmaking, I was making YouTube videos for a while, but there were really no narrative to it. There was no story. It was just me kind of copying other vloggers on YouTube, which kind of sucked. At the time, I was super obsessed with like Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, but I'm not them. I don't have that personality. And I started doing that like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. And eventually I realized that I needed to find a way that I can make videos that kind of fit my personality. And I started making little documentaries. It started with my brother.
I would have never thought I would be sitting in the hospital, paralyzed and fighting for my life and everything. It's crazy, man. I still can't get over it sometimes. I was sick and tired of living. I was rough shape, man.
Who I can link the video here. Will pop up. Boop. But he was struggling with an addiction, and he almost died. And it's a pretty emotional story, and it's pretty real and heavy. But I wasn't even planning on making a documentary about him, and I went to go see him at the hospital. But I had my camera, the A7S III, and I had like a little mic, just to show him the stuff that I'm doing. And we were just talking, as brothers do, and he was just kind of talking about his life and his struggles. But I was just recording him because I like making videos, right? So I was filming him, and he was just saying some really amazing stuff, and we just had a really good conversation. And I didn't even know what I had, and then when I came home, I was kind of going through the footage, and I realized, like, wow, this is very intense, and I feel like some people can connect with it if I made something. So I made the video. It's only like 3 or 4 minutes. It's not super long, and mind you, I'm not getting paid for this. There's no money in it, and I think it did well. A lot of people connected with it, and it's a pretty intense story. That video kind of helped me jumpstart my career, I guess, into documentary filmmaking, because then I made another 2 more videos, completely for free, just my own little thing. And this is where I met my business partner, Nate Gaffney, and I made one about him, the photographer. It was just another short doc. Just hung out with him for the day, filmed him, did an interview, made a video, not even long, like not even 5 minutes. And then I made one about his dad, who does mask making. And yeah, like it's just been kind of where I started. And then I got hired by a company. They're called Community Forest International. They're a non-for-profit organization here in Canada. And they reached out to, well, one of the filmmakers reached out to me to help create stories. So this is kind of leading to my next point, where you can find mentors that have been in the industry for many, many years. So I found a mentor in this job. So it was kind of like, if we hire you, you also are going to be mentored by this filmmaking individual. So yeah, so I did that film, it was a series of films, they're all on my channel called Projects. So if you're curious to watch any of the stuff that I made for this organization, they basically, I kind of owe it all to them, to like giving me the freedom to really make films that I cared about. So I made one about my dad, and then I made one about making my basket making and kind of the struggle. I had to try to weave in like forestry and the forest. So that was, but it's pretty easy for me. I lived on a reservation my whole life. I grew up in the woods. I grew up on the land. So it wasn't a struggle. It taught me so much about my filmmaking and how I wanted to film films, basically. And whenever I would make an edit, Jared would destroy it with notes and give me points and help me kind of learn on the way as a filmmaker. So that's where mentoring fast tracked me into filmmaking, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But basically, he just helped me. And yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today without him either. And online courses, mentoring, doing stuff for free, I think that will help you in your journey to becoming a filmmaker. You don't need to go to film school. I'm not saying, going to film school is a bad thing. It just wasn't for me. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who would love to be filmmakers but can't go to film school as well. So yeah, I mean, there's pros to going, I actually did a documentary. I was a camera op for a DOP who went to Concordia University, and I heard nothing but good things out of him. He said he loved it. It was the best experience he had. Some of the benefits that you can have for going to film school would be, access to teachers or mentors pretty consistently, access to gear. That is the biggest struggle, not going to film school for me. Is just, I was pretty, not lucky, I did serve 8 years, but after those 8 years, I was able to use the money that I had from the military to buy some gear. So I bought, Sony A7S III, some lenses with it, and then that kind of propelled me into gas, just buying shit for no reason. But super grateful to have that money to buy my gear. But in film school, you have that, and you're able to have access to that however long you're in school. So yeah, and you have formal education and all that stuff. So there are benefits. There's cons as well. But for me, not going to film school made sense, and it's worked out for me. And I don't think I'll be going anytime soon. I think my career is going in the right direction, and I really, really appreciate, the experiences that I had, and, my career is growing, and it's just been such an amazing experience for me, and, I look forward to everything. I really want to emphasize the free work. So don't think of it as free work. Think of it as like investing in yourself, basically, because if you make good content, and that's what you should be worried about, is making good content, making good films, if you make good stuff, eventually someone will see it and they'll want to hire you. And everyone has a voice. You have a voice. So if you feel like you don't, you do. Trust me. But yeah, so, I think if you guys are looking to get into film or cinematography or directing, audio engineering, whatever it may be, yeah, so y'all have to start somewhere, and you're not going to get any better if you don't start. So I think you should just start now. Make the videos that you've been wanting to make. Yeah, you're just going to get better and better each video you make. You have a unique voice. Everyone has a unique voice. People want to listen to you, so make those videos. So yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed these videos, like, please, comment below, tell me your journey, your experiences, the route you took, if you went to film school, if you didn't go to film school. I'm really interested to learn what you guys do. Yeah, like the video if you like it. If you don't like it, subscribe if you want. I truly appreciate you guys watching the videos. It means a lot to me. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Sorry if I rambled a lot, but yeah, it's just kind of how I talk, I guess.